Try to overlook a rival. All eyes on me cause I got no competition. Now looking at an idol. You're doing long enough to pay for my attention. I was born to be glorious. Most definitely glorious. I'm destined to be glorious. Through all I hate to display to remain glorious. I was born to be glorious. Most definitely glorious.
There was ever a time to flip a property, $1 million home, this is the time.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's The Real Lifestyle. Today, we got a special guest, Miss Katrina Rosendary, the talented, the beautiful luxury agent.
Don't hype it up.
How you doing, girl?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. We here. We in Miami.
Blessed.
We blessed.
Yeah, everything's good.
So how's everything with you? How you
Great,
doing?
no complaints. Busy.
Good. So, Kay, we spoke, quite a few times and everything like that. And tell us about you. Like, who are you?
Well, I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. I moved here 3 days after my high school graduation. I packed up my little Honda Accord and was out of there. And here we are. Life got real from there. I don't think I was really ready, but it definitely built me up to the woman I am today, for sure.
So what made you move, to Miami?
Erie didn't have anything for me. There was no opportunity. I always wanted more. And I always knew that from a young girl, knowing I couldn't just stay here and do what everyone else was doing. I just knew I never wanted that. So it was the want for something more, something different, a better life, a different life, that just propelled me to say, okay, well, when I'm done with high school, I'm out of here.
Wow,
That's
so
it.
you just packed up your car and say,
Oh, I was out of there.
You was out of there.
That's it.
So how was that move for you?
It was rough. There was a lot of things that came with it, honestly, but that's another story in itself. But it wasn't easy. But when you look back, it was clearly so worth it.
Well, I've been following you for quite some time, and you've been doing your thing. You've been doing your thing, and you've been killing the real estate game, especially the luxury market. How did you tap into that?
Getting a mentor. Getting a mentor. You have to. It's like they always say, success leaves clues. Okay, so who's doing what you want to do? Okay, so find someone that's doing what you want to do and get under them. Get in front of them, work for them for free, do what you got to do. Sometimes you have to eat shit. But if you really want it, you'll figure it out. So I made sure to get a mentor. So
how you do that? You just slid in the DMs? Or,
well, I slid in a million agents' DMs, and FYI, most of them never wrote me back. So shout out to y'all for that.
They regret it now, don't they?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for that. But then Michelle Judge, she's a really amazing woman. She's heavy in Sunny Isles, heavy in new and pre-construction. And we became friends, and she was just so eager to help me. So she introduced me to a few people, and I ended up partnering with Lisa Van Wagenen. And that's my mentor.
To this day?
To this day.
Wow.
But it was because of Michelle connecting us that got me there, for sure.
Wow. Do you regret anything coming to the real estate in Miami, or?
I regret not figuring this out sooner, not getting a mentor or determining what I wanted to do sooner. Because had I got a mentor sooner, had I taken certain courses that I took now sooner, I think it would have propelled me forward. But then again, everything happens for a reason, so I'm right on time.
Were you afraid?
Afraid? I think doing deals made me afraid. I feel like everyone wants to get into real estate, but you don't realize, I'm someone, I genuinely care. You take on a lot of liability, you're dealing with someone's funds, So I think the scary part for me was doing deals. It was oh my goodness, what if I fuck up? I'm a perfectionist. I want everything perfect. So I couldn't imagine fucking up, and not only fucking up, but it having an effect on someone else, a client or a realtor, whatever the case may be. That was my biggest fear, I think.
But I've seen you do deals, we've been around each other, and I see you take phone calls with your clients, and you really care about, your clients and stuff like that. You take it personal, especially in Miami, everybody hears about Miami being hey, it's shady. And
shady as hell, but I'm not from here.
And you ain't from here.
Sorry to any of that are, no shade, but I'm not from here.
Right.
And it's different. The first question I used to get was, you're not from here, huh? No.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Miami got that stigma, you know, it's my hometown, but, you know, we got that stigma of things not being real.
It's like a Shark Tank.
It's a
that's all.
Shark Tank, yeah, yeah.
It's a Shark Tank.
So you use, you know, your growing up like background to like.
I would say that, but then again, I'm in the business of helping people. I don't know what else you would be in the business of real estate for as a realtor. You're in the business of helping people.
And
You
that's-
provide a
that's
service
important.
to help someone get from point A to point B. You know what I mean? So if I'm in the service of helping someone, my primary goal is to really help you. Like if you're not happy, I'm not happy, even if I get paid, you know? So it all matters.
So what you say is your goal, like in real estate? Like, I know you in the service of helping people and seeing their goals accomplished. You know, whether it's buying their investment properties or buying their second, you know, third.
I would say
home.
just continuing to grow, to reach being a top agent, just all around a top agent, like very prominent individual in Miami when it comes to real estate. You know, I'm one of those faces, those people. So that would be my top goal for now. Of course, later, it's a different story. We'll get into that another day. But for now, the goal is real estate. Being the best, learning nonstop, you know, growing in the business.
I heard you talk a lot about, you called me and asked me a lot about affordable housing, and, you know, we spoke about those
Yeah.
projects and stuff like that. We went a couple of sites, we've been, you know, to kind of scope out the scene and see if it'll be a possibility. But like, where did that passion come from? Like,
Home, like, you know, most of home is affordable housing, in my opinion, in my eyes. So if you could provide a better affordable housing, like, that makes a difference. Everyone wants to build nice, luxurious houses. I think coming to Miami and realizing that, and realizing like there's no in between. It's either you are in top luxury or you're in the fucking slums.
yeah,
Why can't there be a middle ground? Or why can't affordable housing be a little better? No one really cares. Not a lot of people tap into that, you know? So I feel like it's necessary.
Especially this day and age in Miami, like.
Oh, for sure. Especially with the prices right now, things
Right.
like that. Yeah, no, it's necessary and it's needed. It's something we don't have a lot of. So,
Right, and I think right now we're being number one state
yes, most expensive.
in the whole country.
Yeah,
That's definitely something to look into.
yeah,
You know, so
it's insane.
what's some of the things that you see like that's like distasteful, like that you don't like about real estate? It could be the banking, the people, like what
A
it
lot
is
of the
about-
agents, some of these agents they put a bad taste in your mouth in a sense. Where I feel like I've been insulted so many times on so many levels. Just like, real estate's not for everyone. Yeah, you can produce, but I feel like you should hold a certain personality when being in sales, when dealing with people. You're in a people business. You know what I mean? A lot of these agents, how they speak to you, the insults, the judgment passed before they even get to know you or your client, like stuff like that for me in Miami is big. That's big.
you see, like,
The arrogance, all of it. Like for me, that's as distasteful as it gets.
so do you run into the same agents, like,
1,000%.
a nasty agent here, you was dealing with a client and like, okay,
Yeah.
that transaction is done and you doing something else and you run into them
Yes.
again.
That's why, and that's the thing for me. So if you're going to cross someone again, I think it's best, you know, you stay on good terms, right? So I've had to learn, because where I'm from, like when I first moved here, my response was always like, show my ass. Like, okay, you think you're tough, I'll show you I'm tougher. And then I realized that's not how I get what I want. So how I get what I want is, while you want to show your ass, I will be overly sweet, because I know for a fact I'm going to get what I want out of you. So at the end of the day,
Kill
I
'em
feel
with
like I
kindness.
win. It's a little win. So while you think you're just, you know, so tough, top shit, okay, cool, whatever. While I'm sending this very nice text, rolling my eyes, I just know I'm going to get what I want. So I've had to learn to not be that person, because I'm going to cross paths with you again. 9 times out of 10. Miami's so small, you know?
So you kill them with kindness.
Yes. Lord knows it's not what I was thinking when I said it, but yeah.
You kill them with that. I like that. You know, I got my real estate license in 2017, and I did it for like a year. And dealing with people like was tough.
Yeah.
And I didn't like dealing with people. I didn't like
It's a lot.
showing homes, nothing like that. So
Yeah.
that's why I jumped into the development side, so you know where I can have control. But
You know, you have the personality of dealing with different people, different personalities, and like, you know, it's needed. Like,
Yeah.
especially, you know, here in Miami. it's
I
needed.
agree.
Yes.
so you say you're from PA, and you talked about like you wanted to give back.
You know, eventually in PA, like, what's some of the things that you would want to see change in where, you know, where you're from?
Just mentoring people, showing people like if I can do it, like if I can fucking do it, you can do it. Like there's no way, there's no difference between me and you, but you know that because you knew we grew up together. There was no difference. I didn't come from money. I didn't have a jump start. No one brought me to Miami or put me on. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I can do it, you damn sure can do it. Like my story is no different from most, you know?
So you say you didn't come from money. Like, so what was the lowest? What was the lowest of your lows that you had to overcome?
I don't really like getting into that because it's a family matter. Like, you know, my mom always took care of us very well.
Mm-hmm.
She would always say, like, you didn't know we were poor. Growing up, I mean, I kind of knew, Mom. At some age, you know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
But she always made sure we had. So I don't ever like saying it like we didn't, you know?
Right.
But we weren't like overly spoiled kids. We just weren't. It just wasn't that. I don't come from money. I don't, you know? Like my mom still lives in the home. I can't wait to buy my mom a new home. She still lives in the home that I was brought home from the hospital to.
Wow.
You know, all of my family's still back home. It's just that type of world. So if I could do anything, it would be showing people, just like myself, man or woman, it's possible. If I can do it, you damn sure can do it. It doesn't have to be real estate. It doesn't have to be Miami. But if you want more, you can go get more. Like, that's what, if I could do that, if I can mentor, if I could give information, if I could give inspiration, if I could go back, which of course I hope to go back and invest and provide better housing, things like that, like that's my way of giving back.
You know, you talk, the way you talk, it's like you got a chip on your shoulder. Like you got something to prove. Like you got that hunger in you, that, you know, that chip. Where did that chip come from? Like, did it come from your upbringing or?
Yeah, it's always wanting more. Like I always wanted more, to provide more, to experience more with my family. Like it's security, freedom, things that we didn't have. Like I'm fighting for that in a sense. So that would be it.
That makes sense.
You know, we talk a lot about business and real estate and stuff like that.
You talked about sliding in DMs of agents that used to, you wanted to be mentored by, but like tell me some challenges or some experiences that you had of, you know, people sliding into your DMs for business, but it wasn't really for business. They want to
that's the
take you on a
worst.
date or
If
something
there's
like that.
anybody reading this that does that,
Talk about it. I want to hear it.
man, that is, if you thought that that was going to get a woman, I'm sorry, that's the biggest turnoff. That is zero confidence. If you want to approach me to deal with me, you approach me to deal with me.
So they really
don't
slide
try to
into your
yeah,
DMs.
all the time. I've had men do the boldest things.
Like
Like
what?
they'll buy with someone else while they've been trying to pursue me, and they're like, "Yeah, you're letting other people slide." What? Keep the business. Like keep all of it. I don't even want your business. Like it's not even. I don't even want it anymore because I feel like it's a respect thing. Like I work hard. I work hard to know my shit, to learn my shit, to do well for my clients. So for me to come at me and waste my time work-wise, it's just there's no respect for me, my business, or my time.
So
See, that's where you lost me right then and there. So if I start vetting you out and you're not serious and you're clearly just trying to get around me, you're gonna have to go play with someone else. And then if you think you're gonna pursue me from there, it's definitely no. Like you should have the confidence as a man. Prior to that, if that's what you really wanted, that was the intention, that should have been set forth in the beginning.
And that
you know?
still goes on to this day.
Yes, of course.
How do you deal with that? Like,
I don't. Easy.
but then how do you know if someone's sliding to your DMs for business?
Because you'll know once you start asking questions. Okay, you're looking to buy. Are you pre-approved? You're not pre-approved. When do you plan on getting pre-approved? Do you need help getting pre-approved? Oh, no, I just want to kind of see some houses. Well,
So you can kind of tell.
we're window
like,
shopping.
Right.
We're not going to do that, not in today's market. In general, there's no point. Like you can tell when someone's serious and when they're not by the questions you're asking and the response they're giving, you know? I've had men literally try to, like, you should be better with your clients. First of all, this is you the 10th time sliding in my DMs after I don't care to respond to you because I don't want to date. I have no interest there. And then you want to start talking about real estate.
Wow.
I know you're not serious.
Right.
And now you want to come at me like, oh, you should handle your clients better. You're not my client.
Wow.
And you're trying to portray like you want to be one because the other way didn't work. You know what I mean? Like it just, trying to come at me directly didn't work.
Wow. Wow.
I would gladly give someone else your business. Like I'm not taking on a headache.
So you kill them with
Like,
that kindness.
no,
like
like I'm okay. Hey, you want to argue, you got to go argue with someone else. 'Cause I'm not in the business of arguing.
Right. Right.
So
So what's some of the traits you look for? Like being in Miami, you single, correct? Mm-hmm. So being in Miami, a successful, luxury specialist, and you're here, you're doing your thing. Like, what's some of the traits you look at to dating? And we often talk about that. Miami's like very difficult to date.
It is. It's very difficult.
Yeah. What's been difficult for you?
All of it. I mean, Miami's just a hard place to date. There's a lot of casual relationships, and a lot of people would prefer to be more casual. There's so many options in a sense. So for me, with a man, I guess traits-wise, someone that's about their business, someone honest, someone with confidence, because confidence, like, it weeds out any of that. Oh, let me act like I want to do business with you, but I really no. They're just gonna, like, confident men get to the point. Like, they know what their intentions are, and they're gonna be honest with them. So I feel like confidence is huge. Like, confidence has a lot to do with a manly man just being a manly man. Like, men are supposed to give that off, in my opinion. If you don't, like, for me, that's not, I'm a lot. I mean, I'm a handful. I can't. You can't be someone I can walk all over,
Yeah.
So I feel
You need a
like
real
confidence,
man.
yes,
Yeah.
confidence, you have your shit together. Sorry to say it that way, but you have to have your shit together. You have to be a good person, how you treat others. How you treat me, of course, but definitely how you treat others too. Says a lot about you. So those would be top.
Have you, ran into a man or dated a man that came close to those traits that you
Yes,
looking for?
definitely. But the man didn't want anything serious at the time. So
you came
and
across.
I've came across a couple men that do have all the traits. It's just I'm not attracted. Like, you could check every box of mine, but I'm not physically attracted. For me, it sucks. Maybe I haven't gotten in my older ages yet and started knocking shit off my list. But for now, as a 25-year-old, for me, if I'm not attracted to a man, there's no way around that.
Then have you ever seen a man that you're attracted to?
You guys done business, but he never made a move on, you and just kept it professional, kept it whatever you guys had going. But have you ever tried to, like,
No.
Never
No.
has happened.
I think most men, they're gonna try.
Right.
Yeah, no.
So what you looking for, like, in love, like?
I'm not. I'm in a heavy season.
As far as love coming to you, like, you doing you, but as far as love coming to
It
you.
has to be something real. Something that you feel is gonna be long term. Like, I'm over the whole let's have a fling. I'm over stages. Like, I'm over all that. Like, I'm not looking to play with somebody. If that's the case, I think we talked about it. I would just gladly recycle before I go picking up anything new. Like, I am more than okay with being single right now. So if something comes in my life, it has to be a compliment to my life. It has to make a difference. You know what I mean? A positive difference. Like, I'm fine as is right now. So if you can't come add to that, then I'm good.
Mm-hmm. And you said you had someone that came close to that. But
Yeah, definitely. A few. There's always something. Like, one of them I'm not attracted to. One of them at the time wasn't looking for a serious relationship. One of them at the time I met at a really young age. Who I was then is not who I am now. But, like, I think seeing that even as a young woman, I'm like, okay, this is someone that's like, this could be a husband for me. But not right now in my life. I mean, I'm like 18, 19,
Yeah, you was young.
So yeah, I would say definitely. I've met a few really amazing men. And I have a few really amazing men in my life. So it's just the purpose for us is not relationship.
So when love finds you, are you looking to, get married, have kids?
Definitely. One kid.
One kid.
We're gonna be real specific
I've been hearing
on that.
outrageous stuff.
I do not want multiple
5,
kids. I'm
6.
gonna be honest right here, right now. I am more than happy. I come from a big family. I have no desire to have multiple kids.
So one and done.
One boy.
One boy.
One and done. If I could have a boy, I'd be happy. That's it. If I don't, I'm still not having another one. That's fine. I'll get over it.
So
yeah.
if you have a girl, that's it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have 2 kids. The thought of being pregnant,
It's a scary
it's
thing.
like, for other women, great. A lot of women that I know, they're so excited. They look forward to. For me, like, I'm sorry, it's just not my thing. Like, I am more than okay with not being pregnant. Like, yeah, no, 1 child's enough.
Wow. I think love is very essential because, as, people, like ourselves in this profession, like, it's very time consuming what we do.
Yeah.
So having somebody to come home to, you know, it doesn't get realer than that, you know.
No,
So,
of course.
you know, have you like, because you know we're not at that stage in our lives where we like have someone and stuff like that. But have you had those nights where you like been like lonely, like or
For
like, you
sure. Even in general, I spend 90% of my time alone. Like outside of work, I would say 10% is friends, travel, whatever. But 90% of my time is spent alone. So for sure, I think I really stopped. It depends. Like some days or months, like it's not as often, but some can be worse than others. Like where you're like, oh damn. Sometimes I'm just bored. And then there's some days where you're like, oh damn, I wish I was up under someone or laid up, things like that. Yeah, of course, it's natural, but I'm really not pressed right now for that. But there are nights, days.
You know what they say, when you're not looking for it, that's when it comes.
Well, whenever the Lord wants to drop his ass off, I'm ready.
You can do it right now.
I don't know. Then again, I feel like the reason I am single right now is because I'm not in that mode where I'm looking for a relationship. I have a lot going on, a lot of transitions happening with work, and a lot of things I have to focus on my own. I'm just growing and working on me. My own mental health, my own growth, like just internal. It's real personal right now. So I feel like I'm just not really there, and that's why I'm not so pressed, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of growing. I'm in a growing stage, for sure.
Man,
I'm probably growing into the woman my husband is looking for right now.
And that's important.
Like that's exactly how I see it. So I'm not in any rush whatsoever. Like I haven't picked up or dealt with someone new in so long, but that's because I'm not looking to. Like I want to make sure whatever I get into next is healthy, like healthy because I'm healthy. The person I'm dealing with is healthy, and we're ready for something, you know?
would you ever date someone in the business like that's a realtor?
I mean, sure, if they caught my attention. Yeah, maybe. I've never.
It doesn't seem
It's
like
never dawned on me before. Maybe like in development, things like that. I don't know. I can't tell you.
So
I'm not gonna discriminate job-wise as far as like a realtor goes, but I've never met someone like a realtor that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm interested. No.
But you've been in a lot of sites, like new construction sites and you know different things. So you never saw someone.
No.
But I'm pretty sure they probably try to talk to you.
I mean, sure. I'm sure. Sure.
They're not
I'm
direct.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure. I can't really
Right.
recall every time, but for me, like I've never seen someone that I was like, wow, I want to talk to him right now. Because if I wanted to, I would for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Have
I'm
you-
definitely confident in a sense where if I want to talk to someone, I will initiate for sure.
Really? So have you ever initiated?
Yeah. For sure.
So, you know that old saying, the old school, like, women won't initiate a conversation with a guy.
You see, I feel like it's very old. I'm old school in a sense where how a man treats me and how you should deal with me. Once I do reach out, like you should want to take me out. You should want to, you know what I mean, get to know me, things like that, like in an old school sense. But for me, just to spark a conversation, if I want to talk, I'm going to talk. I feel like if you have zero confidence or you want to sit and play that game, by all means, do it. I don't know who is benefiting, but like if I want to talk, I'm going to speak up and use my mouth to talk. You know, I don't have to wait for someone to go and bait me first. Like, I don't know.
See, that's different. Because now these days, like, you
Don't get me
like
wrong, it's rare that it's going to come
It's
across where
rare.
I'm going to want to do that.
Right.
But still, like, you know, if I really feel like I want to, I will.
So have you ever, like,
Yeah. And I feel like some men can be intimidated.
let's talk about that.
It's not that I'm intimidating, it's they're intimidated. So I try to like ease it a bit. So if I reach out and there is interest, I bet you that automatically all that intimidation just is gone.
Right.
You know? Because most people don't want to reach out. They don't have the confidence to reach out and not get a response. You know what I mean? Or to say something and then that same person not be as interested. I don't care. You know, I guess we'll find out if I do have to be the first one to say something. But I feel like a lot of times, a lot of men are intimidated, so you want to kind of break the ice.
So
If I have done it before, it's because I'm breaking the ice.
So one thing I'm hearing about you is confidence. It's very big for you.
Yes, a man has to be confident. That's huge. Come on.
Yeah, because even in
It's
yourself,
huge,
like
like-
the way you speak very confident. You know what you want. And
I feel like that
you're
is
not about
important for
playing games.
anyone in life, in business, in relationships, your everyday activities, your communications. Like, it's just extremely important. I'm not the most confident woman on earth. I'm just learning. Like, I am growing more in love with myself in every aspect that, like, you know, it takes time, it takes progress, just like everything else. Like, you have to build on that. So I'm not just saying everyone has to be like, oh my God, so confident, but if not, work on that, because that is extremely important.
Like, have you ever thought about like being with someone that's not necessarily a realtor, but that's somewhat in the business? Because, you know, you look at these power couples that, you know, are doing this profession.
Yes.
They're always in some type of business
Yeah.
with each other. Like, have you
For sure.
ever thought
Always.
about that?
But then again, I just go with the flow. I'm not someone that has painted my life, every detail of it since I was a child. I want 6 kids and a husband that is a lawyer, and I don't. I'm just here. We're gonna figure it out. Like, we're just gonna go with the flow, and what's in store for me is gonna, you know, it's gonna be in store for me. We'll get there. So I don't really paint this picture of it has to be this or this type of guy. He has to be specifically doing this, and we have to specifically live here or have this type of life. You know, I'm just going with it. We'll see.
That's good. So have you ever had any heartbreak? Like, what's your biggest heartbreak? I know everybody has a heartbreak where they eat ice cream and try to get over it.
I wouldn't say necessarily a heartbreak, but it's probably my first realization. I think it was my first time realizing, like, it's not like I've dated a million times and made a million men, but I think there was one guy, like, I couldn't understand why every other man that met me wanted to date me, and he did not. And I had to come to terms with it. It was like a rough come to terms with it, and I couldn't figure out why. You're like, what? I think that was my first hardest pill to swallow.
Really?
Right there, yeah.
So how did you deal with
For
that?
sure.
Like, 'cause I'm
Nothing,
pretty sure,
just
like,
getting over, be real with yourself. Like, you have to, with anything, you have to be real with yourself. Like, most of us would save ourselves a lot of heartache and trouble if you just looked at things for what they were instead of trying to sugarcoat them or paint a new picture. If you would, like, paid attention to how someone treats you and just be real with this is how they treat you, you would know, okay, you're going to accept it or walk away.
Yeah.
Which one is it? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to accept that? You're going to accept just being a fling, or are you going to walk away? It's up to you.
So he turned
But
you
it's
down.
learning that early. It's not turning me down. It never turned me down. It just didn't want anything serious. You know? And I couldn't figure out why. But I had to be real with myself. This man does not want to date you. So it's up to you if you stay or you go about your business. You know what I mean? I think that was like a big learning lesson for me.
So walk us through your typical day. Like, what's your typical day look like from
I feel
start
like
to finish?
for anybody, and especially someone when you're in a business like this where it's all on you, there's no 9 to 5, you need to treat your days like 9 to 5. So for me, I have the best days when I'm up at 5, when I can get to the gym by 6, when I can journal, when I can eat, when I can have me time before the rest of the world wakes up with me. If that's not, it's just a crazy feeling. Once you get there, everyone always like, oh my God, I could never. But once you get there and you feel that feeling in the morning of peace and quiet while you do what you need to for you, that's extremely important for my day. If I don't do that, it throws my days in loops. Like, let's be real, it just does. From there, it depends. I mean, most times I'll leave the gym, I'll go home, I'll get ready for the day. Either I'm on appointments or I'm working from my laptop. Most times you're gonna check your email first. Then you're gonna get ready, head out the door. Showings, whatnot. I don't, especially Monday through Friday, like I really don't go out much. So even if I stop for lunch or go get a bite to eat, like I'm usually home early. And when it comes to winding down, I try to leave my phone for a little bit. It's not easy every time, but I try to leave my phone to the side for a little bit. I try to get some reading in, some type of reading or learning, whether it be a YouTube or reading one of my books, something like that before I wind down. I love playing meditation music while I sleep on my iPad. Puts me in a better sleep. But a typical day for me is like that. It just really depends. I feel like my morning routine is extremely important and my night routine. Writing down what you have to do the next day, I've learned helps me sleep better because then it's not on my mind. That's why journaling in the morning is extremely important. I get it all out. I don't have anything lingering on my head. I'm big on my to-do list. I'm big on my Google Calendar. So all that's extremely important. The meat of my day, the middle, it always varies, but the morning and the night are very consistent. So I think that's extremely important.
So what gave you that structure, like how you compacted your day? You figured it out, obviously. It was
Because I figured out how I feel when I do it and how I feel when I don't. And I started learning what works for me. Your variations will change, but you should have a morning routine that works for you. I think it's extremely, extremely important if you want to be successful and have successful days. I feel like your morning routine is extremely important. But then again, there's successful people that don't have one. For me, that's what works for me. And I recommend it to any and everybody. Journaling, goal setting, the book. I have so many things that I use to write in and put my goals down. Then I have my notepad where I have to write my to-do list. Like, that's big for me. My Google calendars, if it's not in the calendar, I'm not going. You know, like that's big. But I feel like getting into that routine, once you feel how you feel when you don't do it, you're like, wow, like this is a big difference. I need to get my ass up and I need to have me time before my day starts.
Wow. So like structuring your day like is very important. And like, what do you do to kind of like offset that like me time? Like, you know, not work, like what, do you travel? Do you like go on vacations? Like, what is your me time? Like, what do you do? Like, do you go
I like
bowling?
peace, traveling, the beach, home alone, Kygo playing in the car, like little things for me. Spa days, I'm big on spa days. or Edgar coming to my house.
Who's Edgar?
My masseuse.
You got your own personal masseuse?
Well, he's not just mine, but I met him years ago at the Mondrian, and he's come to my house ever since.
Wow.
Yes. He's cheaper than the spa. People be acting like it's so bougie. I'm like, he's cheaper than the spa, y'all, and I don't have to leave my house. I could get up, shower, and lay down. What? This is great, you know?
It works out.
It works out, yeah. So I feel like I'm a very laid back person. I'm your typical like woman in the sense where I just like chill, cutesy things.
So you don't go clubbing?
I do not like clubbing. Like every blue moon, of course, like a lounge is cool. Some lounges are cool, but that's as fun as it's gonna get for me. Dinner and drinks. I love dinner and drinks. I love girl nights. I love my girl nights. Taco Tuesdays, game nights.
Taco Tuesday.
Yes, I love stuff like that. Like I like more intimate. Yeah, so that's how I spend my time when I'm not working. Most people like to call me a grandma, but just a little seasoned. I'm great with people. These laughs and shit. That's it. No one expects me to have a personality. I don't know nothing else. I mean,
you gotta have some
I love helping people.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely like if someone really was like going through something, I'm someone I can sit and talk to you for hours and I would thoroughly enjoy just like if I feel like I'm helping or making a difference in your life. For me, I thoroughly enjoy that. Like if I can be of help to any, I always help people. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I thoroughly enjoy doing that. Talking to people, helping, point you in the right direction, connect you, whatever it is, like I thoroughly enjoy it. So that's why giving back, things like that means a lot to me because that fuels like what I'm passionate about, you know? So helping people, making a difference in someone's life, that's something I'm passionate about.
It sounds like you probably have a couple of mentees that you mentor. Like,
no.
Do you have any?
I mean, there's people. Yeah, of course. I mean, if it's just real estate specifically, honestly, I could care less. Mm-hmm. I will give you all my tips for what you need to do. And anytime someone asks, I tell them, this is what I recommend to you to get in the business or to get started or how to get started. I always answer these questions, cool. Right. But I feel like you could do whatever you want in life. But no matter what it is you choose to do, you need to get you right first. So... And that's something I'm working on. I'm not there. I don't think anyone is ever truly there. They're at the top of it and they've reached its final. No, it's always going to be a learning game. You're always going to have room for growth. But no matter what you do, you can't escape getting you right first. And I feel like that's, if I can tell anybody that, like that's the most important part. So I love talking about it because they always say if you want to learn something, you teach it. So as I learn and as I read and as I learn myself and I try to grow, if I could give you that information, I love those conversations. You know what I mean? Especially with people that don't have the insights you have.
And that's important. Like
it's eye-opening for some. It's awakening for some. You know, like that's enjoying.
Man, that's a hidden talent in itself because a lot of people, they have information, but they don't like giving back.
I love to. And it's so crazy. I always say I'm a bad speaker until you catch me talking to someone that wants advice or help and you realize I'm so in it and it sounds so good. They're like, you should be a speaker. I'm like, no, I'm not good at speaking. But then I look back and I'm like, damn, I guess I'm kind of good.
Right.
If I'm passionate about the conversation, I'm good.
Yeah, you know? Good. So who's your hero?
My mom. For sure. She was always the most selfless woman. I never realized how selfish she was or selfless she was until growing up. Like moving here gave me a completely different appreciation for my mother. Family in general, like, but my mom specifically, like I could be a little bit rebellious at times, talk back, X, Y, and Z. Since I moved here, I wouldn't dare in my life speak to my mother any other way but with full respect and love. Like coming out here to see how it is on your own and how much she kind of like sheltered me from is insane. Like to see how hard it is to even take care of myself, let alone if I had kids right now. I'm like, I don't know how everyone with kids does it. Like I can barely deal with me.
Yeah.
And so you look and you see, like I'm the youngest of my mom's kids. So to see how she just so effortlessly handled being a mother, at that a young mother with 4 kids, single mom, and as selfless as it gets. Like she would never do anything for her. It was always work us, work us. Like, so someone like, she always taught me to be a hard worker. If you want it, you have to work hard. It's not given to you. Nothing is given to you. So if you want it, you got to go work for it. But she also instilled in me being a good person. She's the most selfless, loving, and caring woman I know. Even my grandma, her, like that's what I was built on. Like, you know, so that for me, the core of me is all her. But the core of you leads to everything else in your life, if you ask me. So your life reflects from the inside out. So who I am, she raised that, she built that, she instilled a lot of things in me that a lot of people I know here or people I've met, their moms, their family is totally different. You're like, wow. It makes a big difference how you are raised and who raises you. So definitely my mom.
What was your most memorable moment with your mother?
It's a very random story, but I will never forget the day I was being bullied, and she would just hold me like in her arms as like because I was the youngest, of course, but still she would just baby me and nurture me to confidence. Like, because I was an ugly duckling in a sense growing up, but she was, baby, it's baby weight. Like, she just was like my biggest fan and always just had my back, tougher than anybody. So I always remember that day where I was just sitting in her lap crying. She just always was that for me. So when my world is to shit or I'm upset, the first person I'm calling is my mother. The first person I'm saying you need to get on a flight to is my mom. Like, I don't care what it is, who it is, like, that's like my best friend. So yeah, I think that's probably something I revert back to a lot. But she always nurtured me like that, so I don't know.
Wow, so you talked about being bullied and called the ugly
I was
duckling.
not the cutest thing growing up. People always ask me that. They don't ever believe me, but hey, it is what it is. I don't need to tell y'all. It's there. The people that know me from back home have known me for a long time. They know like I know. Yeah, that definitely played a role. I think that's why I'm really sensitive. Like, I'm not one to like go and hurt someone's feelings. If you really like push me to my wit's end, of course. I mean, anybody would. But like, I'm not someone that bullies or sat back and allowed people to be like that. Like, I don't like nasty, ignorant, mean people. Like, that is one way to for sure get under my skin, and I will always speak up.
How did you deal with bullying? Like, is it during high school, middle school? Like,
It wasn't high school. High school, I had already gone into myself. It was just growing into those years. I didn't really deal with it. I was always more quiet and reserved. I was just like,
So they picked on you,
yeah.
and called you names and all that.
It's just, you just weren't the most favored person in the room. Ever. But it didn't, I don't know. I feel like I kind of don't really remember fully these years like that. But I think that contributes a lot to why I work so hard to build on my confidence now. Being confident in myself, what I want. Like, I always used to be scared to say no to people because I just always want to make everyone happy. And I learned that's probably something that started back in those days when I was younger. Doing anything to make someone happy, make them like you, be cool. I don't care about any of that now. Like, as long as I like me, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? So as long as I speak up on my behalf and I say no when I want to say no and I say yes when I want to say yes, that was a big thing for me, learning that. I think that's why I try to say confidence is super important. Like, it is. I love when I see people that you may not think they're attractive. They think they're the hottest shit on this earth.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's the confidence. Like, it matters. So
what would you say to other women? It doesn't even have to be women. It could just be men as well. What can you say to other people that's been bullied, that's been called ugly ducklings, and transition to like what you transition to like to what
You gotta find the love within yourself. Like, I'm telling you, everything starts from the inside out. Like, everything inside reflects in your outer, in your relationships and work, in your life, your successes. Like, you have to deal with that. Like, I can't tell you anything but to deal with your shit. Like, read, learn, fall in love with yourself. Whatever it's going to take for you to like you need to do that. Like, if you can't just wait, you should just wake up and like yourself anyway. But if that's not the case, or maybe you think you need to work out, then go do it. Like, don't keep playing victim, or, you know, you have to go and make the changes you want to be happy with yourself. So whatever's going to make you happy with yourself, go do that. Don't worry about anyone else, you know?
See, I love the fact that you spoke about happiness and everything you spoke about, you know, being a woman to, you know, come here and be able to do and accomplish the things you have accomplished. And, you know, it speaks a lot about yourself and the brand that you carry for yourself, you know. So, you know, I really appreciate you for coming and sharing your story. Like,
This is the stuff that we don't see every day. We don't know
Yes,
these things.
and listen, full disclosure, I do not give relationship advice or real estate advice. So if you want to fact check me, please don't. Don't. You know, this is just opinion.
They're gonna be sliding in your
Like,
DMs talking about,
don't even
like,
waste
hey,
your
Kay,
time with it, please. Like,
what do you think about this? What do you think
yes,
about that?
I'm no expert with relationships or love or self-confidence or self-growth. I can only tell you what I know or what works for me. So
It may be good enough for them.
listen, it might just be. I'm just now stepping into what people don't realize. People are like, you're so confident. I'm like, I look like that to you, and I'm glad. Yeah. But even now, I still struggle with it. It's like a fight for me to continue like working. That's why I'm like, this is me season. Like, I'm not looking to date because I know there are certain things within myself that need work. Like my own confidence still. Like, you got to think, coming from Erie, PA, where just my world is totally different to this big glamorous city where everyone has everything. That was enough to drop my confidence right back down. Like, whoa, I ain't got shit compared to these people. And they're all beautiful, lots of money, nice things. Everyone is just like wealthy. It always looks so big and glamorous. So you have to like, you can't look at it like that. You will never be happy. Like, so you have to find it within yourself, and finding it within myself is being happy with myself, where I'm at in the stage I'm at, how I look, how I feel, the lifestyle I live, the things I have. Like, I have to be happy with that. So it's not ever just you just grew out of it. No, it's a constant thing you work on. Like, you know, it just is what it is.
So you're constantly working on yourself.
1,000, you're never not going to. Like, that's never ending. I don't care how great you think you are. That's a never-ending process.
Yeah, because some people reach a plateau where they think that, okay,
they don't want to read a book no more. They refuse to even meditate. Nothing self-help-wise is intriguing to them anymore because they feel like they did it. You know, like, I'm not one of those, and I pray to God I never am. I pray I'm always open to being better.
That's key.
And learning.
That's key. That's a gem.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, did you ever play sports? Like growing up?
That was a
He
little
smiled.
rough. That was a little rough.
He's a little rough.
I definitely played basketball.
Okay. So
I was great with defense. My mom used to be my biggest cheerleader, of course.
Okay.
Nothing was funnier than me and my sister would play each other because she was in a different school than I was. And just, it sounds terrible to say it like this, but it's just the reality. I was at a predominantly white school, and she was at a predominantly black school. So we used to play each other. There used to be so much tension, like so much tension. Me and my sister used to love playing against each other, but it was always so aggressive. Like, you know how many times I used to foul out? I mean, I was a great basketball player, but I took it so seriously until high school. And then I got to high school and I was like, I'm over this. They took the fun out of it for me, so I stopped.
What made you drop it? Like,
they took the fun out of it. I hate when people take the fun out of things. Like, you should enjoy what you're doing. Like, I should get up and enjoy real estate. Don't get me wrong, not every day is going to be peachy. Not every client's going to be the best. But if I get up every day and I hate what I'm doing, or I don't want to go there, I dread doing it, it's no longer enjoying to me, I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, I'm not going to keep doing something I don't want to do. So I think at a certain point, the coaches and whatnot, it wasn't about us anymore. It was just about them winning. You know, like, it wasn't about us playing the game, learning the game, doing our best. enjoying it while we're doing it. It was just them wanting to win so they could say we won type of thing. So just sucked the fun out of it, I guess.
How do you use basketball, the sport of it, to kind of like help you, build your confidence? You talk about being bullied, when you was growing up. So
Find something you're good at. I don't know. You kind of got to find something that works, things that work for you that you can get lost in. I think my biggest thing that started growing confidence for me, I started getting lost in books. I started reading. The first book I read is You Are Badass. If that gives you any insight on what the book was about. But I guess it kind of gave me a bit of confidence because I found something I was good at. Something I was good at that made me feel good, better said. So yeah, it kind of did, I would say. But it was also one of those things, like, you always have to be in competition, like who's better than who, and I just hate that. Like, I'm not into all that. I don't look at other people or things as a competition, so when you put me in a position where that's what it is, it's kind of just like this again.
It's
okay.
over with.
Yeah.
So how do you translate that into real estate now, where people like always thinking that's
I'm not anyone. You
and-
can ask any agent. I'm so giving. I am not selfish. I am giving. There's enough work for us all. If you have questions, if there's a lead site I'm using that's working here, this is what it is. If there's anything I can give, I give it. There's enough for us all to go around. I feel like when you do that, you're blocking your own blessings. Like, you do. It's not scarce. There's no scarcity. Why do you have to feel like you're in competition with me? There's enough for all of us to go around, And at the end of the day, in our business, you yourself would be the determining factor of if you do well or not. Like, do you know your shit? Do you work hard? So why am I worried about you? I know I'm going to do everything I can to learn, know my shit, work hard, hit the ground running.
Right.
Why am I going to play like I'm in competition with you over that? There's just no need, I don't feel.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. We're in this together. Like, I love when I'm like talking to, say I have a buyer and I'm talking to a listing agent and they want to go back and forth like we're in competition. We're here to work together to get the deal done. Are we not?
Yes.
Like, I don't, So yeah, I can understand that.
I could see the teamwork coming from you being an athlete, playing basketball. You carry that over.
And you
to-
know me. There's anything you need. I'm always like, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to benefit me at all. Like, but if
you
I
always-
can, I don't
you always
care. I'm
text
like,
me
what do you
like,
need?
hey,
Yeah, like,
what do you need?
it doesn't have to benefit me. Like, I just like to help. I like to give. I'm not someone that looks at others as competition. I don't.
Well, we definitely know people like you in this world.
I think the world would be a better place because everybody be so selfish,
I wouldn't have enough room for both of us.
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I appreciate you, Kay, for coming out.
No,
I
of
think a
course.
lot of people are gonna really enjoy this conversation that we're having because a lot of people, struggle with, certain things that we spoke about today.
And I think.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I think you'll be an inspiration for other people that's coming up.
Yeah, I hope so.
I appreciate you for that.
Of course. You good? Oh. I'm gonna play with you.
Tried to overlook a rival. All eyes on me cause I got no competition. Now looking at an idol. You're doing long enough to pay for my attention.